We are getting close to halfway. Are we at halfway? I'm not really sure in the Hidden Cup 3 qualifiers. But guys, it has been a treat today. We had an amazing set previously between Project Belgium and Rubenstock. Speaking of, actually, Project Belgium just resubbed, and he said, I might have a nightmare. Well, spoilers. I won't say what he's saying, but he says, can I co-cast a series with you in the future? What do you think about that, chat? Project Belgium has some Hidden Cup qualifier experience. What do you think about having him come in to co-cast? Alright, yeah, so I mean, honestly, if chat said no, I still would have said yes. Belgium, just contact me on Discord, alright? There's still some open spots too. If you want to join in tomorrow or on Monday, we can definitely make that happen, alright? So ACCM, the 6th seed, he's here in the blue, and he has gone for the Persians. And then in the red, we have Miss Tong, aka Jibatong. And no, Jibatong is not a girl. Jibatong is a guy. And he's gone for Mayans. Now, Mayans have a terribly low win rate in the qualifiers so far. And I just don't, like, I shouldn't say it's terribly bad. Because I know Game 1 Arabia, Mayans did well in the previous set. But it's not quite as convincing as Persians might be nowadays. So it's funny how the meta shifts with just a few small changes. I think it genuinely was Plumed Archers being slightly nerfed, and ever since then, I mean, Persians have been beastly on any map, but ever since then, Persians, or Mayans rather, haven't been quite as good. So, with the maps, it's Arabia. Expect it to be open, but also expect it to be wallable in some areas. ACCM will have no complaints. He could actually go fast castle on this map if he wanted to, with some pretty easy walls. But for Jibatong, he could do the same. It's kind of awkward because most of the hills are in the back of his base. But again, wall here, wall here, wall here. It's always wallable. It's just how much you want to commit to the walls. I do think that Mayans have to wall, because Mayans don't have horses. So you're going to have less mobility. And we saw Rubenstock in Game 1 against Belgium go for some heavy walls. But with the golds and stones being in here, again, Jibatong should be in a fine position. So my Twitch chat has gone for the safe picks, alright? They've gone for the safe picks, and they think ACCM will win 3-1. Here's another question. Who do you think is the best Vietnamese player? Yes, I know Jibatong's name has something to do with the male nether regions. I'm aware. Some people said Huang. Some people say ACCM. Some people say Bact. Okay. Now, Jibatong is Chinese. ACCM is Vietnamese. Well, if you listen to Dave and I's talk show, uploaded to my YouTube channel, Jibatong is going to... Don't tell me he's going to lose that. Oh, that's so rough. To take that amount of damage. But Dave and I feel like Bact is probably the best against non-Vietnamese players. But ACCM is probably better than Bact if they face off. Like, Dave had an interesting point. He said that he thinks that all the other Vietnamese pros, well, not all of them, a lot of them have Bact's number. But Bact, and I agree, seems to perform better against everyone else. So it's kind of a weird thing to think about. But I guess they play at a certain time. They're normally playing against each other. It would make sense, right? If ACCM's playing Bact all the time, he might have his number. Say My Name and Cool are also very good. Cool did not make it in. Say My Name is going to be in. That's going to be a treat to cast that one. And have everyone say my name all the time. But I expect walls for Jibatong, and that was really sloppy. It's not like he's not expecting scouts. You'd expect Persians to go scouts, but still, to lose your eagle that early is not good. He hasn't even scouted the entirety of his base yet. And... Okay, ACCM sees the Wallvilles. Yeah, these will be militia. This is just typical Mayans. Delay, delay, delay. Wall, wall, wall. It's a lot of walling to commit to, though, isn't it? Like I said, you can wall it, but now you don't have your eagle to accompany your militia. ACCM is going to be very annoying with this scout, and he'll be in feudal age soon, so this is dangerous for Jibatong. I actually feel like Jibatong needs to commit more to the walls. Would you guys agree? Because if you're expecting feudal pressure, just send 2 or 3 more vills. Like, make sure the walls are up. Alright. Fool's Knight, thank you for the Twitch Prime. Thank you, Sir Jonathan, for the 2 months. He says, boom, I'm a happy subscriber. That is good to hear, man. Crazy Anthony is now subbed to tier 2. You're a beast, thank you. And Lord Flashheart, welcome. Yeah, I guess he's committing now. But he can't even take his deer. I'm just... I find it hard to be convinced with Mayans going Drush FC in some situations now. But it's all meant to delay, and the delay will come in! The delay will deny the stable. Tick-tock, 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 ACCM. The walls are up, and you need to get some pressure in. Every second counts for Jibatong. Jibatong was the guy, for those that don't remember, Jibatong was the guy who played Rubenstock on YouTube a few weeks ago. And he said, no big. He said, no big. Oh, it's Crayonthony. Crayonthony. Oh, sorry. Or Crayonthony. I thought it was like Crazy Anthony at first. And so I said it differently. Sorry. But yeah. Rubenstock said, big rush. He said, I'm going for the big rush. And Jibatong just said, no big. Please, no big. Weird stable spot, but I guess ACCM just wanted to build it immediately. And so now he's producing scouts, and this is the problem you run into against Mayans. You're producing scouts, and your opponent's already full-walled. Now, if you go forward to tower those walls, that's a strategy. But then you're also pulling villagers off of resources, meaning your economy takes a hit. So a lot of players, as the militia, could harass here. A lot of players actually decide to just add farms instead of go forward. And with Persian Eco, you might be okay. So you might as well engage versus these militia. Your goal here is to not lose a single scout. And Jibatong just will hope to kill a scout at good micro ACCM. We'll see what the play is for Jibatong. Ooh! Oh! That is a really good tower. That is a sneaky tower, and that denies that entire woodline. That's good. Very well played. And guys, Jibatong, I'm not sure he's going to have the resources to rebuild a lumber camp, build a blacksmith, build a market. Now, your eco is pretty weak when you do this. Check this out. He's making an archery range. Sorry, I should have said archery range, not blacksmith market. He needs the wood for a blacksmith, which he doesn't have. And then this tower is going to go up. And he'll need 100 more wood for a lumber camp. Villagers have to walk a long distance. He's still lacking food. This is so good for ACCM. Not a convincing start for Jibatong in this qualifier. Not at all. He actually does not have the wood yet to build a new lumber camp either. Because he placed the blacksmith. That's funny. See, he'll have to chop these trees for now, and then he doesn't have any backwood really. So I guess he'll have to chop wood here now. T90, why not go with quicker Drush against Mayan Drush Fast Castle? Is it because you fall behind in eco? Think Man-at-Arm Trush is best against Drush FC. So you're gonna hate me, but it depends, right? Here's the deal. When you go for scouts, you have the best food eco in the game after the fact. You might not reach the castle age as fast, but you have horse collar farms, meaning they last a really long time, and you set up your economy to have a lot of farms. So yes, the castle age time isn't going to be as fast for ACCM, but the food count and the consistency of it after the fact will be crazy. So, whereas with Man-at-Arms as well, if you go Man-at-Arms, you're not going to be able to farm as heavily. It's just how the eco is after the fact. So, you know, I can't really dive into the specifics of it, but I'm sure you guys understand what I mean. What does Drush stand for? It means Dark Age Rush. So it's just Militia and Dark Age to buy time. Whereas if you go for Man-at-Arms, that's in Feudal Age. So, nice walling from Jibatong. And remember, Mayans, they have a way of staying alive in awkward situations. The resources lasting longer can be very nice. You see Jibatong actually still taking these trees for now. has this lumber camp, has 2 ranges, is making archers. And ACCM is about to click up. He is on his way now to the next stage. So ACCM has to hold and defend from these archers somehow, and he's going to have wood problems as well, though. So yes, he'll have the economy to go 2 stable knights, probably to destroy all of the crossbows. Keep in mind that Persian knights do have +2 attack versus foot archers, so that's fantastic, but he's not going to be up yet. Even just delaying the archers, distracting the archers with the scouts could be important here. I think the fact that his wood lines are forward and exposed could really hurt him. Both players are going to have that problem. What are the worst playstyles in your opinion? Depends. Depends. That's a rather general question. That's like asking which civilization that gets chemistry is best. All civs get chemistry, so it's very, very general. Sorry, Skip. So you have to take stragglers or something. This is why you keep the stragglers here, low elo legends. I think he'll be okay. I think ACCM will be okay. He too has had some issues with wood, but he hasn't lost a villager yet. And with 2 knights surely on the way, he could deal with those crossbows. But Mayans already on the 2nd town center, already going to the 3rd town center. Wow. Now, really awkward spots for the TCs. He's going to be chopping his houses by mistake if he's not careful, but the economy, at least with the vill count, looking pretty good for Jibatong. I missed a $69 donation. He says, excited for Hidden Cup 3 Craigasm. How do I say this name? We don't want to offend the guy. First off, nice. Yeah, call you Kyle. Kyle, thank you. Kyle, appreciate it, man. I'm actually going to use that and some of the other donuts from earlier. I'm going to drop some gifted subs after this game here, reminds me. Just a few. I gifted 10 earlier. I'll give 10 again because we've had so many people here. It's interesting to me that ACCM's going for the Siege Workshop. So, if you're investing into the Siege Workshop, like this all comes back to economy. That means you're not going to have... Guys! He doesn't have the stone for a 2nd TC because he's stonewalled. I think he can clear this up. I think he can fight this and win because of the Persian bonus. But the fact that he's not going to another town center right now is a worry. Jibatong's vill count is going to be significantly higher then. But yes, Persian Knights, fantastic. Cleared that right up, no problem. And now ACCM has a nice bit of map control. But I think that ACCM overcommitted to stone walls. Did he really need to go that heavy on stone walls and delay the town center? I don't think so. Were the mangonels necessary at this stage? I don't think so. But the mangonels will be very helpful. I mean, still the woodlines are a spot of bother for Jibatong. He's also not on stone, so he can't build a castle to free up space. Yeah, I think a few mangonels here with knights behind could be super strong. This eco setup is definitely not what Jibatong would want. So now he just hides. Hides behind those walls. He's so little vision. Look at the scouting difference. Wait. DE? Thank you. Look at the scouting difference. A large part of that score is just the scouting. 200 to 300 of the score is just the scouting. Oh, did he just ring? Did he just ring the bell? I judge the guy like I don't do that sometimes. Because B, like, I still have B as my build hotkey. And B is also my bell hotkey if I'm on my town center. And I really should unbind that. I remember MBL. He saw that when he was casting a low-level game. He's like, unbind it, man. There's no reason you should have town bell on a hotkey. It makes no sense. Just garrison, man. Just unbind it now. That is my tip. That's MBL's tip to you guys. But no, I mean, Town Bell aside, what do you do to defend from this? Oh, you quick wall! Jibatong needs a conversion. If he got a conversion there, that knight would take care of the Mangonel for him, but he didn't get it. And so, yeah, he has 14 more vills, but are the villagers taking the correct resources? Are they where he wants to be? I'm not too sure, but he is on stone now. What about that economy, that strong Persian economy for ACCM? He's on 2, he's going to 3. I think he'll be satisfied with this. But again, if you clear out that mango, the crossbows can actually do something. And, ooh, the instant reaction from ACCM, that was epic. And good micro again from ACCM, who has still microed his knights back. So many times he has not lost a single knight to a conversion. Oh, fire on the monks! Boom! Oh, that's huge! That could end the game. That could honestly end the game right there. There are not enough crossbows. The monks are out of the picture. There's a new one, but he's already heard what happened to the other ones, and he wishes he wouldn't have signed up for this job. And he's dead too. Sure, there's a rewall behind, but this is going to be a nightmare. A literal nightmare for Jibatong. ACCM has played very, very good. And I love how he didn't stay underneath the TC. He's still in here. He wants to do more with these knights. He's scouting around for other areas where villagers might be. And he has full armor, so he can fight underneath the town center. 45 idols for Jibatong. 66% of his villagers are idle. Gets a conversion, loses another monk. Here is built a TC, lost another villager. Still the vill count, Jibatong's leading, but it's going to be so difficult to stabilize from here. It seems like he's gone for the boom with very little military control. The knights are flooding everywhere. I already see that there's a relic coming in for ACCM, and he's bringing a second in. ACCM is playing very clean. Look how many small groups he has. Knights here, running away. Knights here, running away. Hitting and running, hitting and running, hitting and running non-stop. Beautiful. What's up, Reznor? How you doing, man? So, I think there's a lot of problems that stem from this. So, yeah, you have 80 villagers to possibly stabilize. But even if you build a castle, your eco has been so idled at this point that I don't know where you go from here. Like, if you add in Pike, you'll probably see the Persian player transition into skirms or potentially crossbows later, right? The real issue is the lack of mobility for Mayans. So as long as ACCM plays this correctly, he'll continue to hit 2 or 3 of the exposed areas that Jibatong has in his base. I think maybe if you stonewall here, you can get away with this. Maybe if Jibatong... No, you can't really get away with it, right? Because of the lack of stone. Yeah, this knight still survives. You stonewall here. You still have problems on the front. You can castle the front soon. But we'll see how comfortable you can do that if there's a Mangonel on the way. Man, if ACCM goes this direction now... Wait, he spotted it, didn't he? We might have our first doubt castle of the qualifier right here. Or just a very quick resign. That castle's at 42%. That's not going anywhere. No, that castle's not going up. He has a few monks, and that's it for military. Doubt. Guys, I have a dream. And please don't tell Doubt about it. But if there's any player that's going to force a Doubt castle for Doubt in this qualifier, it would be Huang. Because Huang has this Mangonel style pushes. The best way to deny a Mangonel style push is with a castle. So it might happen. It might happen. 92 villagers for ACCM, 102 for Jibatong. That's a lot, but he hasn't had military and he's had significantly more idols. You really think Huang beats Doubt there? I don't know. I still think Doubt is heavily favored, but it should be fun to watch. Not convinced with Jibatong, man, but it was the wood lines that really hurt him. And that tower from ACCM, had he not towered there, I really wonder how this game would have gone. Because after he towered there, he knew exactly where to pressure with the Mangonel. This is at 70% Jibatong. It's a literal doubt castle because he won't give it up. Will it even go up, or will it just be destroyed? It'll be on fire. It will be well on its way down. Boom. All right. So now you've completed the castle. Congratulations. Now you have no way of keeping the castle up. So not doubt confirmed. This is ACCM's game. I want to point out a few things because we've been focusing a lot about what ACCM has been doing at Jibatong's base. Check this out. So the guy has 3 relics. Look how much of the map he has scouted at the moment. He's going to get the 4th relic, and he's been pressuring, and he's been booming. So I always like to point that out because we just haven't been looking at his base. We haven't been looking at his eco balance. We haven't been looking at all those things that he needs to do. Jibatong is, he probably has Tim on TeamSpeak with him right now. Tim's like, what's your pop? My pop is 83. How many knights does he have? 30. Tim's like, you can still win. Don't resign. You can still win. Keep playing. Build another castle. Alright, there it is. Look how he's splitting up the knights though. This is sick stuff, man. Like, knights are strong, but you have to use them effectively. And that's exactly what ACCM has done. And that's why at the high level, you can't just go pike to counter someone making knights. The second they see it, they'll run away. They'll use the mobility. Okay, now a castle for ACCM, which will deny the wood line. I think that's the most important thing it takes out of the equation. Because Jibatong can't take this wood line. He now won't be able to take this wood line. Jibatong! Jibatong, do you want him to defeat you? There we go. Okay, GG. ACCM destroyed him there. He lost the scout at the start. He lost his crossbows pretty quickly. And he couldn't do enough to secure the wood line. But has to be said, ACCM didn't make many mistakes. The only thing I could be slightly critical of was the fact he was late to a town center or two. But that was beast mode from ACCM, showing why he is the 6th seed. And ACCM also participated in Hidden Cup 2. I forget the exact result for him, actually, but there's a reason he was there. 14,000 food collected, tons of gold collected for ACCM. I won't take too much time reviewing that one. I think that was over for a while. And now I'm curious to see how Jibatong will perform on a home map. And maybe he's not an Arabia-only guy, like the rest of the world. Maybe he wants to play on slopes. Ooh. Okay, slopes. That new Hidden Cup map that I've quickly fallen in love with. In fact, at this point, I honestly feel like it might be my favorite Hidden Cup map. It's so good. We've had so many good games on it. Bisharno, man, we've been getting this question a lot lately. I know Valentine's Day was recently, but a lot of people have been asking if there's any female pro players. And it might have nothing to do with loneliness. It might have nothing to do with horniness. And it might just be general interest. But to answer the question, there's no one within... There's no one at the high level who are female. Sorry. Also, if they were, I don't think they're interested. Smarthy. There we go, Smarthy. No, I mean, there's like a few who could maybe crack into the top 100 with some training, but I don't know of anyone really. And certainly not in the qualifier, man. There's so much competition in the qualifier. Okay, so slopes, the global bands, Aztecs and Malay. I don't think Malay or Aztecs would be strong on this map. So you could go Mongols, you could go Indians, we could see Huns, but I think if Indians are open on this map, most people are going to opt to pick the Indians. Just get everything set up and we'll hop right in, guys. If I sound exhausted or if I misspeak or something like that at any point, thank you guys. Sometimes I get a bit repetitive when I get exhausted. Masuderman, or Masuderman. Yes, Bay is in the map pool. We've seen a few games with it. I would highly recommend checking out the Tim Angelina Jolie set if you enjoy seeing Bay. That was an awesome Bay game. Well, there was an awesome Bay game in that set, and there were a few other ones too. All right, everything looks good. This is game 2 between ACCM and Miss Tong, aka Jibatong. I saw a very interesting strategy earlier from Nilly. Now, he lost, but it was interesting. So we have an Indians war here. I feel like Indians Mongols are going to be quite common picks on this because there's deer on the one side and there's shorefish on the other. Indian villagers collect shorefish quickly. You'll probably see players come out here and bring in the shorefish with villagers after milling it. But if you know your opponent will go there, you could lame it. And that's what Nilly did. He walked the whole way across the map. He walled it in. Kind of disappointing. He ended up losing that game, and it wasn't the best series for him either. But I felt like it was a really well thought out strategy at the very least. So since it's a mirror matchup, I just want to assure you this game is going to be exciting. Because sometimes in mirror matchups, players will just full wall their base, make 4 scouts, go into knights, go into camels, or go into crossbows, depending on what the meta is. But I feel like on this map, you don't have that security. You're going to see times where one player will go too stable, all in scouts. One player will try and play more greedy. It's very hard to full wall your base in the center, and then you have the other resources on the sides too. So definitely one of my favorite maps. Vinchester versus FedEx played an amazing game on this, and it will be up on YouTube tonight. Alright, so if you want more Age after this long day, I've been live for 6.5 hours now. If you want more games and you want to see ravines, or no, not ravines, slopes, that will be on YouTube. Yeah, it's kind of like a half pipe, I guess. Some people are calling this burger. You guys continue to remind me why I don't ask for community input on map names. I don't really... Is it a veggie burger because it's green in the center? Because veggie burgers are totally green? I don't know. ACCM... Okay, I think he'll bring in the boar. And now he's heading over to his fish. And Jibatong also heading over to the fish. Okay, I thought that was his mill. That would be bad. Alright, so similar timings. Players opting to bring in boars, but realizing the importance of the fish. It's a hot dog with relish? What's this little blotch, though? What's that? Is that like a... It's mold. It's mold. Man, the amount of people that immediately said mold worries me. I don't want to go to a cookout with you guys, ever. I don't know what type of hot dogs you guys eat, but if mold is that frequent that it made you thought mold the second you saw that hill, I'm gonna go elsewhere for my food. Thank you. Okay, four on the shorefish here. The feudal time should be lightning fast. They should be clicking up soon. I did notice that Jibatong got housed, by the way. He only built one house at the start, and then he got pop blocked. So the fact that he's behind a villager is purely because he made a low elo legends mistake. But I assume scouts will come out. And with scouts, could be spearmen. With spearmen, could be archers. With archers, could be more scouts. Which could be more spears, which could be more archers. It's a never-ending cycle. But good scouting from ACCM. And ACCM, I have to give this guy some credit. I don't know if he's watching, but maybe chat can salute him. Because these games were played either early this morning or yesterday. But he was the one player... Well, not the one player, but he was bugging me for maps more than any other play in the qualifier. So I said, oh, the map should be available in a few days. And then he said a few days later, where are the maps? Where are the maps? He really wanted to train and play on these maps. So I think he's pretty well prepared. It's a good sign. Whereas I love Slam to death and Slam was streaming, I said, Slam, this was last week, hey, do you want to play some Hidden Cup maps? And we spent a half hour and I had to get him the maps, which he didn't have yet. And then backed. I had to do the same. And then, you know, certain players, they're a little bit more prepared than others. But to be fair, these are high-level players. They just have to look at the map. They have to see how it's been played out a few times, and they'll be fine. I'm really looking forward to seeing Slam and Bax play. So, have you guys ever seen a situation where, let's use Mongols as an example. Or let's use any resource as an example. Have you ever seen someone take a resource and everyone's like, wow, that's a great source of food income. They're set. But then suddenly that food runs out and they haven't thought of a backup plan. They haven't thought of transitioning into another source of food income. That happens a lot here. So what I'm talking about is this food, that's fantastic. That's going to work well for a couple minutes. But you have to prep farms. You have to think about taking deer possibly. You have to think ahead. So keep that in the back of your minds. Again, Jibatong does seem slightly behind just because he got pop capped earlier. But he too is going to be going for scouts, and here comes some walls. So it's the same way with fishing ships on bay. If you go heavy fishing ships on bay, that's great. But then if you don't think about when the fish expire, then you'll be in trouble. It's the same with hunt with Mongols too. Like, you'll see players hunt with Mongols, but then have to add farms, and sometimes players don't think ahead. Oh, wow, T90 farm. Oh, man, never mind. So, you see the farms now for ACCM, he can't heavily rely on just the short fish. Happens a lot on steppe. Yeah, it does, because of the hunt. That's another good example. I was going to use just one food source as an example, but I think you guys get the point. Jibatong's base is much better when it comes to gold. Not so much for ACCM, but he does have this gold in the back. But the two scouts for ACCM, see, this is what happens when you're slightly faster to feudal. They're here already. Jibatong has 3 scouts though, and he should be okay. The bird, look at it go, look at it go. Did you see that? That always means that this will be a fantastic game. Always. It is a sign from the Age of Empires gods this game will be fantastic. It's not quite the bug that they fixed with the bird getting caught in the corner, but that's as good as it gets for us. It bothers me and it cracks me up at the same time that the devs really felt like it was high priority to fix the corner bird. That bug they fixed in DE, but now it just gets caught on the sides. It's like the bird wanted to stay, you know? They couldn't get rid of the damn bird. But of all the bugs to fix, why fix the corner bird? We liked the corner bird. T90 official, can you complain to Microsoft that the Indian stable does not have the camels visible? Does that bother you that it's just horses? Yeah, I'm sure that's high up on their priority list. Right with the corner bird. I think they said they'll fix that after they fix the corner bird glitch. Alright, Jibatong walling, ACCM walling. Can't stay in here forever. Scouts and a few spears. Pretty close game. It's 39 population for ACCM. He has a bit more in the way of military. What happens in the next stage? Because you can't make camels in feudal. I think I have to pay attention to the stable now. I don't pay attention to those things. I pay attention... Sorry, I pay attention to things that actually matter. Sorry, I'm kidding. But anyways, like, I've never looked to see if there's a camel butt here in the next stage. Well, remember, these villagers, they're soon going to be done with their fish. Oh, I thought that was an overchop. I thought that was an overchop. Yeah, ACCM is paying close attention to that. That will happen a lot this game. Actually, not so much for Jibatong right now because of where he's chopping wood. ACCM maybe should have lumber camped here. And he's bringing most of his villagers that were on the shorefish back home. Well, this is a whole lot less aggressive than the previous games on this map. But when walls come up and spears come out, archers become common. ACCM is adding a range. And it's 2 ranges for Jibatong. Jibatong has slightly more food. And Jibatong sees the spears immediately. I know Jibatong didn't have a great game 1, but it's looking clean right now. And there are minor differences between the 2 players at the moment. Yeah, so I think the only area where Jibatong can do damage is probably just waiting for these villagers to run back to their base at the moment. The rest is going to be all about their castle times, and Jibatong will click up. Guys, he's clicking up. He has 2 archery ranges producing archers. ACCM is not on the way up, and he's only had 1 range, and he has 1 archer. So, if this is going into archers, Jibatong is ahead. Now, the scouts could still matter. The scouts for ACCM are over here, and these villagers now have nothing to do, but I think the scouts for Jibatong will probably come over this way to protect them. It should be fine. T90, what was the bird again? It's happening, guys. This is going to be a legendary game. T90, what was the best set today? It has to be Rubenstock and Project Belgium. The previous set was unreal. I wonder if we'll see this play out into Cav Archers or not. These villagers are going to make it home safely. Nice job, Miss Tong. When I played Slam, he went Cav Archers against me, and it caught me by surprise. Ended up making... I actually lost that game with more population. I had, like... I think I had 160 pop, and he had 140, but I didn't have an answer to the amount of Cav Archers that he had. Spoilers, by the way. I actually casted that game to upload it to YouTube, but I don't think I'm going to anymore, so... It's alright. I wasn't really happy with the cast. Uh-oh, you don't have your scouts here, Jibatong. This could hurt. This could hurt. I think that ACCM realizes he's behind in archer numbers, he's behind a castle age, so he'll be very happy with taking some free kills with the scouts. No archers have died yet, but a lot of them are weak. And that will probably just even out the numbers a little bit. It also gives ACCM that time, right? Oh, Jibatong scouts arrive. He wants some revenge. Alright. Similar KD, and you know what? In the end, Jibatong, he'll be better off. He didn't lose as many archers. He still has more scouts around to distract. 14 military versus 8 military, and Jibatong has a slight villager lead. Now, he's building his second town center here. And I've not seen a second TC yet for ACCM. There it is. Okay, so they're both staying in the center right now. That's interesting, right? Because there's safer woodlines out here, but Jibatong might be scouting over here. Oh, he is scouting over there. Very, very close game right now. Jibatong, he created less scouts in feudal, and that's the difference. Oh, wait, we're looking for camel butts now? Is that what we're doing? No, there's a camel right there. Calm down. There's a camel. Bill Gates just called and told chat to calm down. I never looked for that, though. And there you go. Jibatong gets a Bill snipe. All these things add up, especially in mirror matchups. Because in mirror matchups, you have the same options, and it's all about who executes the fastest or the best. This is a messy economy for ACCM. Now, Jibatong's army could get trapped. I actually will know that the crossbows are over here if he pays attention to the spear, but he's committed now. What type of value can Jibatong get? He gets a crossbow kill! That town center could be denied temporarily. The farms are delayed. This is so good for Jibatong. He gets another crossbow kill. This micro is incredible, and he's booming behind it. He's getting ballistics too. This is GG territory, actually. Because look how good his eco is behind this. Fast ballistics, that's not something that ACCM has. I'd like to see Jibatong micro more here. I wouldn't even worry about the Vil kills as much as just keeping your army here as long as possible. And focusing down the enemy crossbows. See, dodging. Nice. He has ballistics and ACCM does not. Hitting and running, hitting and running, hitting and running. ACCM is not going to be happy to see that he has ballistics. Guys, this is bad for ACCM. This is real bad. He can't deal with the number of crossbows. He's behind in economy, slightly. Actually, no, he's not. but he's certainly behind in efficiency of economy. And there's more crossbows on the way for Jibatong. Look here. These crossbows will loop in and they could sit right next to the golds. Props to Jibatong, man. What is his seed again, guys? 27th? Jibatong, he's a beastly player. I have seen him take games off of everyone at the top. He might not win best of 5s versus Viper. Has he won a few games versus Viper here or there? Yes. Might not win best of 5s versus MBL. Has he won games versus MBL? For sure. Oh my god! I saw these vills earlier. ACCM had 2 vills there this whole time. Well, they've just been idle. He was 27 seed? Gotcha. Wow. And there's just so many areas that Jibatong can hit. And he's still getting so much value from the crossbows. I love the army movement. Alright, well guys, I need to double check and see what the economy's like for Jibatong. 3 town centers. You can tell he's no longer microing because he's starting to add farms. Some T90 farms, which I can appreciate. He's still microing these crossbows. What a nerd. He's still being a pest with these. And, okay, as I say that, he loses the crossbows. But man, was that worth it. We're looking at 21 military for him. It's 19 for ACCM. Now what ACCM needs is a counter. But I don't know if he's in a position to push out yet. Because now Jibatong will hit the left of the goal. So maybe if you use the siege and defense, and then send the crossbows forward for a counter. There's so many areas you can hit. So this is the caster and map. Well, I can't say map creator. The map schemer in me, but I really think it's a mistake to go 3 TCs in the center. They're going to be out of wood here soon. I really feel like a TC out here for your 3rd TC would be better. Ah, okay. Jibatong, obviously hacking and stream cheating. Make it your 4th TC then. Now, ACCM, he doesn't really have the luxury to move out, does he? And he did get a good engagement here, though. That's good. Ooh, that hurt a little bit. But ends up evening out the KD. 38 to 38, actually. Jibatong has 4 more villagers with 4 TCs. He should grow in his lead eventually. Where's the siege, ACCM? I see he has scorpions in defense. I guess he's worried that crossbows might come towards his base. But you see how inefficient the lumber is here? It's really bad. It's making a market now. Where does this go in an Indians war? This is bad. No, Indians don't get Arbalest. Okay, they used to get Arbalest, right? They no longer get Arbalest. Oh, beautiful micro Jibatong. I was about to... I had forgotten. If they get Arbalest. They no longer do. Nice micro from ACCM, but it's still a bad position for him because this is all right next to his gold. Elephant archers? I mean, elephant archers are good against other archers, but they're so slow. I think a switch into cav archers makes sense. Maybe before you go imp... I mean, it has to be CA or camel. But I don't know if you want to go cav archers when the other guy can go camel. It really depends, I guess. But so much pressure coming from Jibatong. But he does need to pay close attention to this area. This is the first counter that ACCM will have pretty much since Feudal Age. And good defense. But he can't take that gold right now. Oh! Well, he can pretty soon. Here come the crossbows. They're going to eat TC fire. But get a few bill kills. 92 versus 95. This is so close. Look at the population. Look at the bill difference. Look at the micro from ACCM. That's what he needed. Because he was behind in the military count. And now he's ahead. And now he's getting bill sniped. So he's definitely coming back. And he could push the center a little bit. I see a stable from Jibatong, which tells me he might want to make camels in the next age, and he's also about to click up to the Imperial Age. What about ACCM? No, not yet. In fact, he's pretty far away. It's the gold that's the difference. He hasn't had that gold. Yeah, he wants to get to the left and deny the expansion, but that won't be possible either. So, Camel's what Jibatong thinks is the play. That's probably the play. Makes sense, because if you go Cav Archers and your opponent goes Camel, Indian Camels are so good against Archers. It's quite a bad play, in my opinion. What a day. I'm like... I think this is a perfect amount of games. I don't know if I could have done 5 best of 5s today. I still think this can go to 5 games, so we have another hour or 2. But this has been fun. Oh man, this is so intense. We have 5 Mangonels on our screen right now. But Jibatong's engagements. Oh! Okay. I did that. I'm sorry. I was about to say good things about the man. I'm so sorry, Jibatong. But maybe he can get some revenge? Boom! There you go. Okay, worth it. Worth it. Sorry about that. ACCM's taking losses. Jibatong's taking losses. There's so much micro needed. But Jibatong is on the way to Imp. And he's adding skirms. So he really thinks, I guess, that there's not going to be a switch from Jibatong. Skirms will be useless here. Camels do not have full armor, but armor upgrades are coming in. And Imp Camel is coming in. And what do you do if you're still Castle Age against this? Pikeman. ACCM is researching Pikeman, but now you go Skirm. If you go Camel Skirm, you take care of the Pikeman and you take care of the skirmishers that ACCM has made. All of these units are useless. He just didn't read this properly. He expected more archers. These skirmishers and archers will do nothing here. Is Jibatong about to tie it up here? T9, did you know what Huang's Twitch is called? I'm sure someone can link it. I don't remember. It's like Huang to win something, 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 something. Somebody can link that for you. You'd have to be a sub to link, otherwise you'll get timed out. Jibatong clearly thinks that this was going to go better for him. And he's losing villagers when he wanted to drop a forward castle. Where's the heavy camel upgrade? Where's the final armor upgrade, Jibatong? It didn't come in. And guys, this could be a throw from Jibatong. ACCM, this could be another doubt castle from Jibatong. Where did this come from? The crossbows continue to come out. Pikeman is now in. Still no heavy camel for Jibatong. He's not even... Is he researching it? He's not researching it. Is he researching it? I will check at a later time. Intense stuff here. I think ACCM has at least weathered the storm. He has that much going for him. No heavy camel. Oh, that hurts. Does he think he clicked it? No, now he has it. Okay. Still, I think the fact remains that Camel Skirm is probably better than Halb Skirm or Halb Crossbow. Alright, the elite Skirm that Jibatong has added is very important to this. Not just for any archers, which are kind of a non-issue for the Camels once they're upgraded, but mainly for the pikemen. See a castle there for ACCM just to protect this area. There's so much gold and stone forward on this map. You really need to have the center control, but Jibatong's making a treb already. A moment ago, it was 160 pop for ACCM and just 130 for Jibatong, but that armor upgrade is kicked in. The skirmishers are helping. He has more military now. And he'll start to treb that down and build a castle here, which even if it goes down later, is huge for now because the gold is gone now. You can't take that gold, ACCM. You're not out here taking the gold. You don't have any gold over here. He is getting relics. Yeah, what I love about this is, yes, you need the sides for wood, but you also need the center for gold. Oh, imagine if Jibatong finds this gold. He's probably not expecting ACCM to ever be on that. The camels will just go into raid. The production seems good from Jibatong. Can he do it? Can he win this game and tie it up? This would be such a sick upset if Jibatong wins his best of 5. Like I said, Jibatong can do it, man. He can beat ACCM, for sure. Okay, Halba's in for ACCM. 160 pop for both. Military counts kind of even. Another castle for Jibatong! This is such a Jibatong move. I didn't realize he was Franks. Jeez, man. I thought he was Indians. How does he have the stone for all of these castles? My god. Well, ACCM probably won't have the stone to repair for very long, huh? Nope. That castle will go down. The Trev for ACCM will go down. If he doesn't have a castle, he can't really make many Trebs. He can't take out forward castles. Jibatong is in beast mode. Okay, he does have crossbows to deal with. Just a side note. It's the only thing that's going on that's good for ACCM right now. And now Cav Archers. I like it. Now adding Cav Archers makes more sense. I've probably said this a dozen times already, and that's kind of the nature of a caster, unfortunately. When you're talking about the same game for 10 hours a day, you repeat yourself sometimes, but I really think that my favorite thing about these qualifiers so far, well, there's two things. One, it's the fact that we have players who are not expected to win based on their seed, getting victories and playing well. And then two, they're preparing. Because they obviously looked at the maps here. Jibatong chose this as a home map. He seems to know how important the center is as he built another castle with 20 vills. That is not only a great sign for the qualifier, guys, but that's a great sign for the main event. Because it means that we're seeing upsets and we're also seeing extreme preparation. And I think for the players who are already in the main event, it could hurt a little bit to not have tournament experience on these maps. So obviously you have to qualify if you're in Jibatong and ACCM shoes. It's a lot of really tough opponents you have to face, but if you win those rounds and get through, I think that experience will go a long way. And I think ACCM will have to tap out here soon, guys. The Halbs, they're out of the picture. It's only skirmishers and a few bombard cannons remaining. They'll be out of the picture soon. There's very little blue on this map, and there's a whole lot of China. GG. ACCM taps out. We're moving on to game number 3 with the score 1-1. Let's do this. How sick is that map? What changed there? What was the difference? I think it was the build order for Jibatong, right? He was in Castle Age faster. Let's see. What was the difference? Okay, so he was in Castle Age 30 seconds faster. And then he got into ACCM's base. All the micro-nerding in Castle Age with the booming behind did it for him. Well, it started the process. The middle of the map was still very important. I think the camel switch at the right time, the imp time was huge too. He just executed slightly better in every way, and he gets his win. Let's be real, the only important difference was the bird at the start. That's true, the bird chose him. The bird chose his side. Rigged. The bird chose his side. I didn't think about that. Yep. Well, maybe the bird will choose ACCM this time. So ACCM, he chose Islands and Cup as his home maps. So we could see either of them for the next game. I am praying we do not have a 3-hour Islands game tonight, because I am getting pretty exhausted, but it's been fun so far. The next game will be on Cup. Alright, so we're moving to Cup, which also can produce some amazing games. I don't think players are going to run out of wood here, but we'll be in the game. What civilizations will they choose? Good question, actually. You guys can probably hear it. Persians and Japanese. Nice. Bear with me, guys. I just need to add it to the scoreboard. We'll hop into the game, and we'll keep this rolling. Oh, man. You know what I need? Do you ever see one of those hats? It's like those soda hats. You have a can of soda on either side, and then you have the straws. and you're like, you slurp the soda at the sports game. I need that for water. Sorry, I'll adjust the scoreboard here. It's because I'm adding the civilizations. I really need that for water. Would that be weird? We'll have a T90 hydrate emote. That would be super weird. I wouldn't actually do that. Okay, let's stop making dumb jokes and let's actually change the scoreboard. Okay, boom. Everything should look good now. We have the civilizations. Persians, huh? Well, I won't say which pro player it was, but a pro player who will be playing in the main event said that they think that Cup is going to just be a Persians war. To which I replied, so could Cross. So could any map right now because Persians is strong. And this is actually the first time we've seen Persians on this map in the Hidden Cup qualifier. ACCM's in the blue. He has not gone for Persians. He's gone for the Japanese. And then in the red, we have Miss Tong or Jibatong has gone for Persians. Now, why did that pro player say that they think Persians would be strong on this map? Well, Persians are flexible on hybrid maps. They have the water, they have the land aspect. But with the extra starting food and wood, they can dock extremely early. And it looks to me like Jibatong is about to send a villager to this area to dock. Yeah, he'll build a house and then maybe a dock. You could say the same about Japanese because the lumber camp and mills are cheaper, so you save wood there. I think ACCM, well, he could dock on either side, right? The fish seem to be really good for him. But remember, you can send land military through the center. You can send it through on this side as well. And you can also not cross over with your navy on either side. T90 official. It looks more like the Liberty Bell than a cup. Yeah, it doesn't really look like a cup. But we call it cup. Sorry. Those helmets are $10 on Amazon. Oh boy. Maybe I'll use that for the next 24-hour stream when I have face cam on. So what's so fascinating to me is what side players decide to dock on. You can't really even go into this map choosing a side and having a pre-planned strategy because sometimes there's less fish on one side. So here there's a whole lot less fish on the left. It still is fine, but there's a ton of fish in the center. Saw Jibatong was pushing in some deer, pushed in a total of 2, and he started with 50 extra food. And he has the fishing ship out earlier. Feel like what I would do on this map, if I'm Japanese, is I would go 2 docks on whatever area of the water I wanted to pressure. And then I would probably wall my base and go into archers. I mean, kind of tough to justify full archers against Persians, though, because if they ever get to knights, they have the extra attack versus you. But I think that's what I would do. I would also make sure that I'm attacking the fishing ships, which you can do. And Jibatong came over here to deal with this, and ACCM's like, okay, I leave now. That was fun. Twitch username Double D. Thank you. He says another month T90 Love. Thanks, man. Guys, I was going to switch out the T90 Love emote back to the non-Christmas version. But if I switch out an emote and it's the same name, it will say that basically I can't add it for a half hour or something. And I tried to do it before the stream. So we added the T90Q emote. I'm not sure if that's going to stick around. I wanted to test that today. Basically, if you're ever confused. Look at this. They're just attacking each other's fishing ships. Microing fishing ships. So we will add some more emotes specifically for Hidden Cup, but we've made some changes recently. I just kind of wanted to let you know. That reminded me. Survivor Joe, Skyven, Lucian Quack, thank you guys for the Twitch primes. Ooh, A28 bots resubbed. This is the most awkward area to fish ever. But Jibatong will be in Feudal Age faster. Every fishing ship is weak for Jibatong, though. Hey, gentlemen, Jim. We are plenty of questions here. Yeah, that emote is perfect for my chat. The new thing should be anytime someone asks me a question that's questionable, we just hit him with the T90Q. I know in reality what you guys are going to do is use that when I say something dumb, but regardless, the option's there. So, Man-at-Arms for ACCM. That's the plan anyways. Uh-oh. Who will win this fight? It's so close! ACCM wins the fight. It felt like he was going to win, actually, when I clicked the scouts. So Jibatong loses his scout. He's making a fire galley, and he's going to make more fire galleys. People said pro caster emote. What would that emote be? Thank you, Farland. You know. Farland's been around. Oh, doink him! Oh! Baited. Baited. What would a pro caster emote be? Remember, these images have to be tiny. T90 Pro, but what would it say? Would it just say the word pro? Maybe I can find a really nerdy picture of myself where I have this big grin on my face, like I think I know what I'm doing. And you guys can use that when I clearly don't. An image of Dave. Ha ha! No, we're not using an image of Dave for the Procaster emote, okay? Ha ha, way to make me feel bad. Procaster. Ooh, okay, so Man-at-Arms, Japanese. Amazing strategy. Will there be reward? No. Well, that's a lie, actually. I just lied, because I'm a Procaster. No, there's huge reward. He didn't kill any villagers yet, but he's idled the eco. The fishing ships, though, Jibatong still has. So he's committed to 2 docks, whereas ACCM has docked on the other side and is going to start fishing again. So big water commitment for Jibatong. But he paid the price, right? Because he didn't have any response to the Man-at-Arms. I find this map so interesting. It's like rock, paper, scissors. Kind of. No, it's not really like rock, paper, scissors at all. But, you know, you invest more into one side, you lose on another. Is it like chess? I don't know enough about chess. We should ask FedEx about that one. Well... Oh, a demo? He wants to demo the fish, I believe. No, demo the ships. Oh, and he also got the fishing ship. Nice. I like ACCM's value. I like the value he got from this. I would really like a value emote, because the value from these Man-at-Arms is sky high. He's bought so much time. Oh my god! He just walked across and he's going to tower the gold. Yeah, he's been, again, value. He's been distracting the only army that Jibatong has on land. This is really well played from ACCM. I also like how he didn't hesitate to dock the other side and fish, because he knows that Jibatong can't cross over. Jibatong, he realizes that something's up, or he just happened to place a tower there. Actually, you know, the tower doesn't look too hot now because it doesn't fully range the villagers. Once fletching's in, though, I think that's just gonna hit these vills, and it will be worth it. ACCM is not giving up on this dock, but he lost the villager. He gets a demo, that's a nice demo, and now he could probably pop out with his fires, and Jibatong needs to be careful. There's still a lot of fish here. Can Jibatong repair that? He will. He will repair it. That's bigger than you think. And now I think ACCM should repair his ship. And he might be pulling this villager over to do that right now. Yep. Man, it must be so exhausting. It's almost exhausting to watch players have to micro in some of these situations because they're so close together. And it's so punishing if you lose your fishing ships or you don't repair. This is very even play. Very close play from both of them right now. Look at the repair! The repair coming in clutch! Jibatong thinks he'll take that out, but the villager has waited out here. Did he run out of wood to repair there for a second? Sure looked like it. Oh! Jibatong has archers and skirmishers on these 2 fishing ships, but I think he should just pass and go to the villagers. The Japanese fish are way too strong still. That's an invitation to dock over there, certainly. I would consider going for a different mining camp if I were Jibatong. The tower is definitely ranging now. We have a few archers and a few skirmishers for ACCM in defense. This is so incredibly messy. Look at that Bill. That Bill is a boss, man. That guy deserves some type of an award to walk out here. Still, again, I think ACCM is just slightly better for him. But maybe the archer numbers start to matter a bit more now, and the fishing ships and the navy start to matter a bit less in the center. Certainly, having these fishing ships working while Jibatong now has none is huge. We have 430 food for ACCM, and it's only 300 for Jibatong. And this tower is just perfect after fletching. If you think that's bad, imagine having to listen to you at the same time. I guess it's a bit late, percentage pointless. At this point, I have the memory of a goldfish. Normally my memory's pretty bad because I talk about one thing, I move on to the next, and I just push the past from my mind. But when I'm 8 hours into a stream, my memory is definitely more goldfish-like. Ooh, a hidden stable for Jibatong. He's not using it. Scouts are always great if your opponent has skirms. Maybe, is he waiting for castle age? What's going on here? He's pretty far away. Okay, now ACCM will see that this is where Jibatong is getting gold. ACCM is about to click up, guys. He's about to click up to the next stage. When he does so, I think he'll add some stables, and he'll go directly for knights in the next stage. The archers are a little bit iffy, because there are some navy out. He doesn't know yet, but Jibatong has taken water on the left. I think a stable would make sense, because both players have had heavy skirmishers, and also, we saw in Game 1 how good ACCM can be with low numbers of knights. Jibatong will buy a bit of food, and if he's able to pressure ACCM while ACCM is on the way to Castle Age, I think he'll have the time then behind that to go to Castle Age himself. Might not be too bad. The left side is still a concern, though. He still has to clear out the fish, but right now he's more concerned with stopping the redock. I'm calling ACCM on this one, betting my life savings. Alright. Alright, that works. I'll take it. I'll take it. Dude, have faith in Persians and have faith in Jibatong. I think ACCM is definitely slightly ahead. Life savings and gifted subs. Yeah. When I said I'll take it, I meant I'll take the life savings and I'll buy salmon with it. I didn't mean I'll take the bet. Just to be clear. Oh, sneaky. See, what will this do for Jibatong? This will buy him a couple minutes even. So he snipes one vill. He could snipe a second villager. Oh, so close. So now, still, ACCM has to deal with this. Tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. Had he not gone forward, ACCM would probably already be at his base. So that was a well-timed move. The clock ticks. An extra 60, 90, 120 seconds were gained by that move. And now Jibatong is in Castle Age and he can make Persian Knights. But how good is his eco to do that? I'm not so sure. Still, these players want to make things on water in the center. Still, they're making things on water over here. Such a fine mix needed. The skirmishers are still being annoying. That's great. But I do see ACCM. He has more on water on the left. Still maintaining fishing ship numbers. And he has crossbow and skirm here. So it's almost at the point where even if Jibatong clears this up, it's possible that he's still behind because ACCM's water control. Zoomwalt, Persian Knights are some of the best knights in the game. They have +2 attack versus archers. But not if you don't see the archers. Oh, to me, it's almost like this should have been expected. He didn't lose a vill somehow. And he's sending the knights over towards ACCM's base, where ACCM, he's trying to lock down his base with town centers. Now, I think ACCM should realize that Jibatong's been in Castle Age for a while, and he's just now encountering 2 knights, so he might expect that the knights would be on the way. And look, perfect town center positions. He has a monastery already. He's making monks for conversions. Really solid play from ACCM. 47 villagers for both, though. Uh-oh. I say that as he sends his monk this way, and this is what mobility can do. So, I would expect a vill kill or two. Will ACCM get 2 conversions? Or just 1? Just 1. Okay, and those knights will run around. Okay, I need to look at the economy setup here. 2 town centers. Keep in mind, the main gold is something that ACCM can't take. Versus 3 town centers. Sorry, Jibatong can't take his main gold because ACCM towered it. The monks changed so much. Conversions or no conversions, ACCM? He gets 1. He gets 2. 2 conversions. He might lose 3 monks. I still think that's more than worth it. T90, what movie should I watch tonight? Django Unchained. That's what movie you should watch tonight. After the stream, of course. I still maintain that if you guys have not seen that, you need to see it. It is an amazing movie. Rango? Rango? Okay. I was wondering if Jibatong would do this. Just, you can garrison your TC and shoot the tower down and the vills. You got 1 vill. Gets the next vill. Okay, and now he can shoot the tower down. He's actually shooting the house. Well, the 2 knights that Jibatong converted are here. The crossbows are here. And a panic TC is now here. And some awful T90 farms. Man, this is bad, dude. Jibatong, do you think you're Khmer? That is a bad farm. Look how far. Look at this. There's a spot right there for it. I think the town center goes up. He'll lose a vill or 2. Yeah, town center goes up. So I guess nicely timed town center. I don't know if he has the farms or the farm efficiency to produce out of all the town centers he has, but at least they're up and protecting him for the time being. But against the composition ACCM has, it's looking increasingly difficult for Jibatong, because you can send the knights forward because Japanese have the monks. You can't really take water because ACCM has that locked down. Just a moment ago, the population was even. It's 100 population versus 71 right now. 32 military against 6. ACCM really put his foot on the gas. Yeah, it's not just that you need 20 plus farms to produce out of all these TCs. He has that, but it's Persian TCs. So it's Persian TCs that produce villagers faster. That's great if you have the food to keep up with them, and then also the fact that knights cost food. So you need the food for knights, you need the food for town centers, you need a lot of food. And he does not have it right now. So smart from ACCM to add monks. This is really tough for Persians, because if you go... oh, wait, is this a counterattack? A counterattack? D. Okay, there go the units. ACCM, demo him. Demo him. Demo him. Demo him. Demo him. Demo him. Oh, that was disappointing. Wait! Oh my god! ACCM! Boom! Oh my god! And these are all really weak as well. That one dies to the TC. The next one will die to the TC. The next one will die to the TC. Beautiful use of demos. And a forward castle. You want to boom, Jibatong? I'll show you boom on water, and I'll drop a castle on your face. And there's genuinely nothing that you can do in Jibatong's shoes, because if you try and go siege against this, Japanese can actually research redemption and convert the siege. Great job. I liked how he made the demo ahead of time, just in case that would happen. I think Jibatong knew he was behind, guys, and so he went for some form of a counter. When you can't deal with the army at the front, sometimes surprising your opponent with a counterattack is the way to do it. Man. Well. These knights. They were Jibatong's knights, and ACCM has gotten so much freaking value. Value from enemy knights. What do you think about a value emotes? I feel like I've referenced value enough in my cast. If the emote's good enough, I feel like it has a place, possibly. It's very different from Worth. Worth, I feel it's like, okay, I lost 10 crossbows, but I killed 10 vills. Worth it, you know? I feel like those two kind of fall hand in hand at times. ACCM's on the way up. Jibatong has 100 food. Ah, man. It's over. We're moving on to a game 4, and ACCM will be back on top. There's... My patience for players who continue to play on after dead gets less and less the longer I cast. And this is... we're 7.5 hours in now, but... I'm just gonna call it now. Because I'm tired. And how... does Jibatong possibly come back from this? Seriously. He doesn't have water control. He has less villagers. He won't have an answer to Castle Age ACCM. And he can't stop. He can't push the castle. He keeps donating knights. Nice guy. Jibatong and Tim are best friends. Tim confirmed. It's obvious that this is Tim. If this was Hidden Cup, I would 110% be guessing Tim right now. Hey Haruga, he says, it's 1 AM here and I need to sleep. Hope everything is great with you. Well, thank you. Haruga, I think a lot of my European audience at the moment might be a bit frustrated with my stream schedule for these games because it does run late, but no worries. What is it, a Saturday? It's a Saturday, right? You guys can do it. Haruga, I'm doing well. Welcome to the stream. Another castle. Will Jibatong call the GG immediately when ACCM is in? Or will he keep playing? Quick, respond quick. Respond quick. Pick one, pick one, pick one. Okay, well, he didn't respond immediately. It took him a couple seconds. You're all right, okay? You're all correct on that. Congratulations. Chat Stradamus. It's not T90 or Dave Stradamus. It's Chat Stradamus. Okay. So, what happened after game 1 is I looked at it and I said, wow, ACCM destroyed Jibatong. Jibatong is toast. That's what I thought. Then Jibatong used his home map and played really well, and he tied it up. Will we see the same from Jibatong, or will he crumble and ACCM gets what chat expected, a 3-1 victory? Most people in the chat said 3-1. So, props if you guys get it right, but we have a whole nother game to see at least. The next game will be on the map, what is it on? Ooh, it's Gold Rush. Forgot about that one. Okay, so Gold Rush. Lots of strong civs out there available for Gold Rush. And I'm, again, excited to see what Hidden Cup 3 Gold Rush is like, because the DE Gold Rush had some differences that I wasn't too fond of. Let me just sip some water real quick. Change the scoreboard. Oh man, I'm gonna be so dehydrated tonight. Any New Zealand teams in Age 2? There are teams. There's not any really high-level New Zealand players or teams, though. They have a few players, which I think they have maybe 1 player or 2 players in the top 100. I forget. I think someone in the chat probably knows a few names out there, but no, they don't have a very large, active, high-level scene. There are a lot of people who watch. I think there's a lot of new people in the community from the Netherlands, or not Netherlands, sorry, New Zealand. Netherlands, New Zealand, it's the same thing, honestly. The weather's the same, the accent's the same. It's all the same. Right? That doesn't bother any of you guys, right? Gold Rush. This can be brutal. If you're going to pick a map as a home map against someone who's better than you, I think I would go for Gold Rush. because you never know. It's a very aggressive map. All right, here we are again. Game number 4. What a day of qualifying. I mean, we had awesome games to start off the day. The second set was probably a little bit bland, right? Fire Vodka, I think some expected results there, but still some fun games. And then Project Belgium, Rubenstock, incredible. And now Jibatong, who's in the red, he's gone for Spanish, and he's on his home map Gold Rush. He has a good back, 2 good back stones. He has a gold he can take. And then you have Mayans for ACCM. Again, very happy with the team that's been working on this. Hank and Algernon. I know T West has been taking a look at some of the maps. Robo and I have done some testing, and we've looked at it. Notice the map pretty fair in that both players have gold, both players have stone, and then the rest of the gold is in the center. So as a refresher, 7 tiles of gold per each player. You'll see it with 4 and 3. And here's the 3 for Mistong, and then here's the 4. And then you have 2 stones for each player. Well, actually, no, you technically have 3. So you have a 4, a 5, and a 6 tile stone. But the 6 tile stone is normally pretty far away. It's like this over here, and this on this side. And then eventually, normally around Castle Age, is when that gold in the center starts to get very important. So what do you prefer? Do you prefer Spanish, or do you prefer Mayans? I think this is very close. One player is probably going for Conquistadors, right? The Spanish player, obviously. The Mayan player, will they go crossbow? Will they go plume? Will they be tempted to go for something in Feudal Age and just go straight archers? Some people say Spanish, some people say Mayans. I don't think it's fair to say that Spanish slaughter Mayans. I think it very much depends, right? It always does. With the maps so fair and so similar, I think that it's all going to come down to when the castles get up and the production. The key for me, there's a couple things that really differentiate the civilization. So, first off, Spanish builders build faster. That's actually a big deal. You can get more walls up, and also with Spanish, you will get your castle up faster, and your second and third town centers faster. Conquistadors, though, they cost food and gold, which is quite expensive. That's not so good. Whereas a plumed archer is wood and gold, and it's cheaper. Both have mobility. That's pretty much it. I mean, there are some other factors, but those are the big things that come to mind, and that I would keep in the back of your mind throughout these games. ACCM really wanted to block that villager, and it's not. It was never the time for it. He could attack this villager, though. He could kill this Vil. He'll run past, possibly. Nah, that villager will survive as well. So, Jibatong looking to wall early. This is probably FC. And I would expect the same for ACCM then. Might be tempted to go for Josh Fast Castle, but I expect straight Fast Castle. T90, what are the odds we ever see a Mezzo Cav in play? Man, guys, I feel so bad about this. So, if you didn't see my video, I think Spirit of the Wall has a video on it. There's a few people who might have mentioned it. Aztecs and Incas, if they research Redemption and then convert a stable from the enemy, they can create what's called the Zalata Warrior. It's basically a crappy knight available for Mezzocivs. And John Slow, when he found out about that, did have a game where he made Zalata Warriors after converting someone's stable. And I was going to cast it, but then DE updated the next day, and it broke the recorded game. So, unfortunately, it has never happened since, as far as I know, in a semi-serious game, and so I couldn't cast it. So, but check out John Slow's YouTube. John Slow might have it up. I don't really know how serious it was, I just know that he sent me the rec, and I was looking to check it out, and then it didn't work, so... Yeah, I did that to License Guy, and then I felt so bad about it, we had to add him as a mod on the stream. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. No, he's actually a good mod, I swear. Alright, well, I think ACCM paid the price for being a bit too naughty with that scout. There's no need for that. He really wanted a Vil pick. Jibatong defended well. So at least now Jibatong can confirm that ACCM is up to something behind his walls. He can make sure that ACCM doesn't have a barracks. If he sees the barracks, then he would react to it, but there will be no barracks. So, Fast Castle Plumes for ACCM, and Fast Castle Conquistadors for Jibatong. Unless he mind games and goes immediately into Elite Skirm. That would be interesting. Doesn't look like there's a hole there. The problem is with that Salata Warrior is you don't get the armor upgrades as Aztecs or Incas, or you can even get them with Mayans in the scenario editor. So they look amazing. They look way better than they actually perform, but yeah, they're not so hot. Jibatong is open up top. Ooh. Oh. He is. What a weird wood line this is. Yeah, you're right. There's a one tile gap. Oh, it's all right. He has the wolf protecting. It's fine. This is old Clifford. Clifford the dog. Man, he will never. He has a scout. Wait a second. No, he can see that. He can see that. I think he might build a market there. That's what I predict. No, blacksmith. That's what he'll do. Okay, let's try and guess what he builds there, chat. Okay, this is the new game. Does he build a palisade? Does he build a wall? Does he build a blacksmith or a market there? 3 archery ranges. Never heard that joke before. Wonder? Wonder. Dude, if he builds a wonder... Oh, it's a house. Alright. Archery ranges, house, same thing. Yeah, good catch. But he had that scouted. Again, that is the benefit of having the scout. I think he sent it out that way. He's a bit light on gold. Oh, he didn't even get loom, though. No, he's fine. With 2 on gold on your way up here, you're fine. And we'll see blacksmith and market. I almost said blacksmith and archer range because that person psyched me out. There's the blacksmith, or market. God. And he's just lacking some wood. He'll be okay, though. Listen, ACCM, my girlfriend told me that it happens to everyone sometimes, alright? It just might not be your night. Ah, oh, he's still short on wood. There we go, there we go. It happens to everyone. Bit delayed. And now... blacksmith, market... There we go. Ooh, but Jibatong is lacking some food. Let's see here. I think he'll be okay. I think he'll just get by. This quite literally comes down to the fact that he pulled 2 berry villagers to build these buildings. If he pulled 2 lumberjacks, he'd have like 25, 30 extra food throughout this time. And he'd be good. Yeah. Yep, he'll send them back to berries and he'll be up. He's good. Nice balance. So yes, ACCM is a bit faster, but this is the difference, okay? There's some styles you can do with this. So if this was not Gold Rush, I think what we'd see from ACCM is we'd see a castle, immediate second TC, and then eventually have the wood for, and the stone for the 3rd TC. But we'd see those TCs at home. On Gold Rush, that's investing a lot of economy into this area. And what you want to do is invest into taking map control in this area. And when you go for 3 town centers, that's 150 food you need caught up in villager production. Whereas if you go for 1 town center, that's only 50 food caught up in villager production, you can get more upgrades, you can make more units, and that would be like really helpful for Jibatong, for example, because Jibatong, who I think will actually just go for 2, and maybe we'll see that from ACCM, but he'll want to have upgrades on those conquistadors and make numbers of them. Nope, we still have a wolf. We still have a wolf on Gold Rush. There are other wolves out here. So if you want wolves, you've got it. It's just they're not in the center like they were before. Niahu, we don't have a 3rd version of the maps, right? I think this is V2. Yep, Gold Rush V2. We will make a 3rd version for the main event. But all those maps are going to be available publicly. You can just search on DE. Alright, so Jibatong sees that the castle is going up there. I like that castle for ACCM. And you know what? He is definitely close to the center now. Like, the TCs themselves are both pretty close to the center. You see here how Jibatong you can see the gold on the left. For ACCM, this is his TC. You can see the gold to the north. But where that castle is placed and just how he has walled throughout this game definitely puts him in a position where he could maybe build the second town center in the center on the gold. T90, will you be able to make this version standard for rated games? Omer, so I'm kind of torn right now, and maybe you guys can give me some input. So originally what I was going to do is I was going to have the next update for DE include... Wow, he's not town centering the middle. Interesting. I was going to have the next DE update have Hidden Cup 3 maps. It would be exciting for people because it'd be new maps. We've had the same maps for a while. And people could experiment with strategies in rated games. So I was in talks with MS about possibly doing that. However, this is what happens. If we see the same maps for my tournament over the next month, the maps might be figured out. The maps might get bland. It might not be as exciting. So what I ended up deciding is that I think it's probably best that after the event, we mix in some of the best maps and the most popular maps, obviously pending Microsoft's approval. But yeah, I did speak to them about that. But ultimately, I feel like a month before the event's too early. If we're talking March update, then I think it would be good. Or maybe a week or two before, right? Because how much would it suck if we create these awesome maps and people are trying all these different strategies, and then when it comes time to the tournament, everyone's like, nope, slopes is this is this, you know? So that's, I thought about that. And Microsoft were, I would say, receptive to the idea. So we'll see. But right now, guys, Jibatong, he's fighting for his Hidden Cup life, you could say. 44 vills for both, 7 to 8 military. This is incredibly close. But I think Jibatong, he's gone 2 TC. I think this is the play. I genuinely think, well, ACCM's boom seems pretty good, but I think 3 TC is possibly a bad idea. Because that's more food invested into the boom, and less food you bank up for a faster Imperial, which can be so important on this map. But then again, what I noticed is ACCM's still on stone, so he could go 3 TC and build his second castle here, which Jibatong's looking to keep an eye on. And I also noticed the same for Jibatong. He's also on stone, and he's sending more to stone. So I'm thinking we'll see a second castle eventually for these two. Keep in mind that also when you go for the 3 town centers, you do not have the food to get all your eco upgrades, to create all the vills, and to get Bodcanero on the plumes. But ACCM also has 15 of them. Alright, now a barracks. Okay. Ooh! Yeah, the barracks is so he can then make a stable and get bloodlines for extra HP on the conks. New Zealand's gonna be #1 at age this year. Watch, we will take all your sheep. That's probably the funniest joke I've heard today. And it has nothing to do with the sheep comment. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you guys are easy targets. Listen, I'm an American, and the age scene gets crapped on so often. Anytime someone gives me an opportunity to throw shade at some other country's age scene, I will do it, okay? We receive too much hate. I'm kidding. Is that a tower? It is a tower. I love my New Zealand fans. We have a lot of people out there. The plumes have Bodkin. I feel like the plumes win here because of numbers. There's no bloodlines yet on the conquistadors. With bloodlines, maybe the conks hold. That was so close, but Keep in mind, the plumed archers are cheaper. Okay, take out the conchs, and the of course the tower goes up. That is hilarious. The tower goes up. That is ridiculous. This needs to be our YouTube thumbnail right here. The plumes are just stuck under there now. Oh, man. Well, what's the stone count like? Okay, so for ACCM, he wanted to build a castle there. That's what cracks me up about this. He wanted to build a castle there. He wanted to take the fight and place a castle. And now that freaking tower blocks it. 700 stone. Like, he could place the castle here, but then the tower ranges his vills. The tower's not shooting either, by the way. I guess batter it down with villagers. But then Jibatong has a mango! You've got to be kidding me. That tower could actually end up being huge. Repair the mango. The knights are here. Oh my god, you're kidding. You're kidding. Again, repair the mango, send the knights in. Keep the tower up! Jibatong! You're crazy. You're crazy. What is this? This is so peculiar. He's actually making knights, which also I wasn't really expecting. But the tower denies the castle spot. I've never seen anything like this, man. One tower. Otherwise, I think he dies. I genuinely think he's dead without that tower. Because blue would have plumes, he'd have a second castle, he might imp faster, and now he needs to castle all the way down here. But the difference now is the cost of the units, and the fact that ACCM has saved so much food. So, it was so costly for the conchs, it was so costly for the knights, and yes, more knights are coming out, and we actually see some rams for Jibatong. Is he going to have the eco and the numbers to push 2 castles? I just don't think you can. ACCM's 3-town center boom, I wasn't a fan initially, because I didn't think that he would secure the center with it, but man, he's going to. But no! Did he not know where this castle was? Ouch. I don't know what to say, except that was not good. That was poor. That was awful. That was a throw of units, and you need the plumes. If you click up to imp, and then lose your military, good luck surviving against an all-in knight ram push. There's a town center now, and the tower's been shot down. He had to build a castle to shoot that tower down. If it was 1 castle for ACCM, I think the knight ram could work. But if it's 2 castles, a way to protect from a ram and knight push is to send your mangoes between the 2 castles. So the knights are taking damage from the castle. He might need another one, just in case. But I think Jibatong saw, or not Jibatong, yeah, ACCM can see the rams. So he should know, my opponent's all in. If I keep my castles up and get my upgrades, I probably win this game. Let's see. Yeah, we'll have no issues taking fights with castle fire involved. And this many plumes. None whatsoever. Okay, now the rams come in. Is Jibatong out of the qualifier, or will we move on to a game 5? These questions are answered right now. Jibatong knew! The mango was there! Wait, there's a hole? No way! There's a hole! The mango's down? More knights will come, guys. Plumed archers are dying. Jibatong could do this. He needs to use more knights against the next Maganel. ACCM's using the villagers to take out the rams. That castle's a goner for sure. No way. Bracers on the way for the plumes. The castle fire is still getting some big shots. We only have 6 knights for Jibatong on this part of our screen. And that gate is blocking the pathing a bit. The monk gets a conversion on a knight. The plumes are getting some kills. Will that castle kill the knight? It will. I think that means ACCM holds. By the slimmest of margins, ACCM holds that. Wow. That was so close. And now, you still have some gold control in the center. You have plumes with bracer. Chemistry's on the way. It's still not going to be easy if Jibatong has insane production, but ACCM has more villagers. So I think now it's very difficult for Jibatong. He should fight on. That was his moment right there. Maybe needed a few more knights, a few more upgrades. ACCM doesn't even try to micro much there for a moment. Bracer is just huge. You're talking about unit with imp upgrades versus Castle Age Knights now. If you leave this hill, Jibatong, you're giving it up for good. And if you're giving it up for good, you have to give up in this series. It's just game over then. You can maybe add Elite Skirm, but not if the castle's up there. And then ACCM will have all the gold. So if he has the gold, then he can go Eagle, right? I'm trying to think about this, because I don't think Jibatong made many mistakes in this game. I think, obviously the game sense to go for the ram push was good, but before all of that, was there something Jibatong could have done a little bit differently? I think the style of play could have been different. Instead of going for 3 TC, I mentioned earlier, going for 2 TC and a faster Imperial for Trebs could have possibly been it. But guys, this is a desperation ram. That ram goes down, and Jibatong goes down. A lot of us said 3-1. ACCM gets the 3-1 win, and ACCM will move on in his group. I really am upset for Jibatong because he's such a fun player to watch, but I don't think there's any question that ACCM outplayed him in this best of 5. I mentioned it before. He's been training. He's been playing the maps. There's actually a really funny YouTube video on his YouTube channel where the first time he trained Hidden Cup 3 maps with Backed, he had cheat codes on. And he started attacking Backed with the Cat Zor, the Sharkazor thing, and Backed is like, what? But anyways, he actually did real training, and he deserves it, I think. He deserves to move on. It was close, though, man. It was so close. If those castles went down, who knows? If the castles go down, it's probably GG, because everything that ACM was doing was build up towards plumes. There's the resource difference. So you have more food, yes, but the units cost food, and plumes do not. And we had a faster feudal, faster castle, and faster imperial age for ACCM. I think if you're going to end up in a situation where you go rams and knights, you do not want Spanish. Would you guys agree there? You'd probably want some other civs. And guys, Slavs. Nobody's picking Slavs on Gold Rush. Slavs is probably the best knight ram all-in civ because of the farming. Maybe Khmer. We saw some Khmer earlier. I'm really surprised we're not seeing Slavs picked. Like Hidden Cup 2, Slavs was picked all the time, and it was 15% faster farming back then. It's 10% now. If you saw the game between Viper Hera last weekend on, what was it, Serengeti, Viper went for all-in with Slavs. It's still insane. I really think people need to figure that out. But it definitely wasn't part of Jibatong's plan to go for that strategy. He wanted to go conks. To switch into knights, I think, the only reason he did that was because he realized he could not mass enough conquistadors to deal with those plumes.